Hello, everyone. I'm Michelle DeLuca, curator of Body, Mind, Spirit TV. Welcome. We're going to talk about healing breath today. It's my pleasure to bring you Sylvie Horvath, all the way from Switzerland. She is a yoga practitioner, an Ayurvedic practitioner, but our topic today is her joy of breathing practice, which I actually had the opportunity to test out. And it's wonderful. Welcome, Sylvie. It's so good to talk with
Thank
you.
you. Thank you. Great to be here, Michelle.
It's very exciting because I am so fascinated by the breath and its ability to heal. Can you tell me how you developed this joy of breathing?
Yes, this is the great thing about this practice. In a very short period of time, you're affecting your body, your mind, your emotions, and tapping into deep states of meditation. So, this is having a powerful impact that we are using the breath to access deeper levels of the body for healing, for releasing tensions, for emotions, and really relaxing the mind so we can get out of the busy mind. And then we are able really to tap into these deeper states of meditation quite easily and quite naturally. So this has a very balancing effect, a very healing effect on every level of being, mind, body, spirit. So it's a great practice and it's accessible for everyone. I share this practice with people so you can really get empowered, to really influence your well-being, to increase your health, your energy, your vitality, and even learn to practice meditation very easily.
Sylvia, it sounds like a miracle practice if it can do all that.
And yes, and I learned this mainly from yoga practice, just over many, many years of practicing yoga and many types of breath work, because in a yoga practice, we're always really present with the breath and what is going on with the breath. And this is a practice called pranayama, where we are really learning to understand the power of the breath to influence our bodies and our minds. And for us to even use the breath to tap into our energy body and into higher states of consciousness. So over many years, I have had lots of practice, and that's how I came to create this practice of joy of breathing as a combination of different yogic breathwork practices and some more of the modern breathwork practices.
I have to say, doing it for the first time today, it is a challenge. You mentioned from the very beginning that a practitioner may get dizzy, and I, of course, felt that. It's a challenge to the humans that haven't done a lot of that lately. Is that an important part of the practice? You talked about pressurizing the lungs.
Yes, it's the breath holds are a really important part of this process because, like you mentioned, you were getting dizzy, right? This is part of the process is we're building up more oxygen compared to carbon dioxide. We're affecting that in the body, and it's creating these shifts, which then when you start to get these tingly, you get lightheaded sensations like you experience, this is showing us that we are tapping into deeper levels of our physiology. So we want to do that so that we are getting more oxygen now. Then when we hold the breath out, most people are going to be able to hold their breath out for a lot longer period of time than you normally just would on a regular basis. And when we can hold it out for a longer time now, we are now trying to increase or we are actually just increasing the carbon dioxide levels in the body. And when this is starting to happen and we hold the breath out as long as we can, then the body is starting to really drink in that oxygen because the body's starting to go, hey, I need some oxygen. So whatever is left in there, the body starts to absorb it, and then the body is starting to feel a demand, a need for it. And it's triggering a healthy stress response in the body so that when you do take a deep breath in, which is really causing your arteries, your veins to open, and when you take a full breath in, you'll notice you get a much fuller breath. And now many things are happening at that stage once you take that full breath in. And so the breath work, the breath holds are really important part of tapping in deeper into the body for our health.
It was quite extraordinary, the experience. When I was done, I felt the vibrations that you were talking about. I felt the energy moving in my body, and that really made me feel as if I'd accomplished something, despite the fact that I almost gave up in the beginning. It's like, okay, I'm getting dizzy. And yet I stayed with it, which is what you say in the very beginning of your free class, which I want to talk about in a second. And you say stay with it because it will be worth it in the end. Can you
Yes.
describe what usually happens in the end that keeps people coming back?
Ah, yeah. Because what you're describing is what most people they are going to experience is like, wow, this is very different, and wow, I'm having all these sensations and it feels a little strange, maybe a little uncomfortable at first. But then as you continue to breathe, your body starts to tap into the rhythm. You uh, start to notice the sensations. You start to let go. It starts to happen if you just keep breathing. And then your body starts to shift, and you start to shift into these altered brainwave states. All right, and you start to get out of the busy mind, you start to shift into different levels of the body. Maybe you notice some sensations are taking place, emotions can arise that want to be released, tensions that have been blocked in the body could be for years. Tensions blocked in the body that now is coming up. So I always encourage people just stay through the whole practice, even if you have to slow the breath down or whatever you have to do, because you have to keep breathing, right? So just continue to breathe, try to stay with it through the end, because the end is the reward when you start to go, wow, I really did get into a different state, and wow, I really did feel a release, and wow, I feel really great. I hear that a lot from people, like they always say, like, I feel so much better after the breathing class.
Offer a free class every Wednesday to everyone in the world. I think that's extraordinary. How does that work for you? Do they come from places far, far away from where you are in Switzerland?
Ah, yes, it's a class I started 2 years ago when COVID was just starting, and everything was changing in the world, and I couldn't be in the studio anymore, and I just like went online, just offering this free class, and then the class started with one person, and now I had 250 people last week.
I'm trying to imagine 250 people all around the planet breathing with you at the same time. There's something really beautiful about that. People complain about the internet and how, it has all these dastardly opportunities. And yet, in my heart, I believe that the internet is also a place where healing can happen, like
Yes.
your international class. It's so beautiful. What do they report back to you about the experiences they're having?
Even after one time, people say, wow, I feel so good. I had anxiety and it's gone. Like they've been carrying anxiety for a long time. They're like, wow, I don't have that anxiety anymore. Or had pain in my body, and wow, suddenly I don't feel that. Or I felt very tense, and now I don't feel that. And when people are practicing regularly, now they're really reporting like, wow, I'm really am noticing the benefits. I'm noticing I'm feeling more energy. I notice I'm feeling more relaxed. I notice my digestion is improving. Many people have actually said too, it's really helped them to recover from COVID, and that they felt that their lungs have really gotten stronger, and they could feel their body just really strengthening from the breathwork practice.
Can you demonstrate for us how the process goes in this joy of
Yes.
breathing?
Mm-hmm. It is an open mouth breathwork technique, and you can do it through your nose, but it's really is an open mouth breathwork technique because we can get more air into the body in a quicker, and the body's more relaxed. You want to be seated comfortably in a chair or couch, or you can do this in a lying down position as well. You breathe in through the mouth, deep down into the abdomen, so that you really feel the abdomen expand. And this is affecting the diaphragm, so the diaphragm can expand right at the base of the lungs. And this is a really important part of this breathing technique and breathing in general. So you breathe down into the abdomen, and then you feel the breath just rising through the body, kind of like you're filling a glass of water, just filling up comfortably though, and all the way up into the head. This is where our pineal gland and third eye chakra are located. So you just get a sense you're breathing all the way into the head. And the exhale is just an effortless letting go. So it looks like this. So you notice as I'm breathing that there's no pause between the breaths. You just keep breathing in and out. And if you keep breathing like this, after about 30 to 40 breaths, it varies from person to person, you're going to start to get tingly sensations, maybe lightheaded, maybe vibrating sensations. You might get hot or cold, right? And this is part of knowing that you're shifting your physiology. So we do that, and after we get these sensations, about 30 to 40-ish breaths, then we hold the breath out. So we exhale, and then we hold the breath out, so no breathing for approximately 1 minute. And that's about normal for most people when they're first learning, that you start to get then the carbon dioxide building now in the body, and you want to start to feel a hunger for the breath. That's what we're going for. So we start to get that hunger for the breath. The body's starting to feel a demand, a need for the oxygen. Then we take a full breath in. Then you hold the breath in, and you feel that you're holding your abdomen in. This is a yogic thing, holding the abdomen in, and you're starting to pressurize the air into your lungs, into the brain, at the pineal gland and third eye chakra. We hold the breath in only for about 5 to 10 seconds, so there's no strain at all. Then you exhale the breath out. And usually we do up like in the free class, and what I recommend to people when they're first learning is you do 3 to 4 cycles just like that.
Wow. It's a complete healing system, and it's simply about breathing. I love the simplicity of it. And I also understand the opportunity in healing body, mind, and spirit. I just want to tap briefly into the breath work. In the 80s, I mentioned earlier that I was involved in some breath work classes and retreats, when people breathe in and out and they try to tap into their inner wisdom that way. That's a little extra added benefit of this, I think, is not only is your body healing from the added oxygen, and not only is your mind healing from the homeostasis that occurs in your body, but being
Yes.
able to tap into your inner wisdom or information you might not otherwise be able to access. It feels like a bonus prize
Yes.
to me.
Absolutely. Yep. That's exactly what happens. And that's one of the things that is so great that people really enjoy, because you start to learn more about yourself, about your potential. It starts to show you like some greater possibilities, for your healing, but for your well-being and for, your total mind, body, spirit. It's a perfect, perfect practice. And I love it because everybody can do it. You don't have to be a yogi. You don't have to, have some special experience beforehand. You can just use your breath and really influence your well-being on every level.
Here you are, little by little, healing the whole planet.
Yes, and it's great that it's free. So I love that it's free, that people can just enjoy a free experience, and then they can do other programs if they want to continue, to get deeper in this with me. But otherwise, people can tap in and know that there's this free class that they can join in any any Wednesday.
Wonderful. So on behalf of the planet, I want to thank you, and thanks for talking with me today.
Thank you, my pleasure.